We are live.
All right. We are live, live, live. Hello,
Well, good
hello.
afternoon.
So, another Tuesday. Another,
Yes, it is.
well, here, another warm, uh, very warm Tuesday.
Oh,
And
is it?
yeah, well, it's end of July. It's the 90s. It's what it's supposed to be.
It's
And
summer in New York.
it is summer in New York, and and we've wanted summer to come for, at least I have to come for so long. I feel awful complaining about it. So I won't, and
Right.
so here we are, and it's going to be a little cooler tomorrow, so that'll be great.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. Okay, so
Good
it
stuff.
says we're live. I
We are
am
live.
I am just circling on mine.
So, how was your day today?
My day was great. I was able to work from home today and get
That's
a lot
nice.
done, and doing a lot of work on reports and cleaning things up, and just stuff like that. I so it was good. It's good to be able to do that from home, and I enjoy it. So yeah. So how
Good.
about you? Where are you?
I'm in Jackson Hole, Wyoming,
Yes, yes.
having a great time.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You know
So
how we
how?
talk
Uh
about
huh.
like connecting with the universe and just feeling one with it?
That's a good place to connect.
This is it for me.
Yeah,
One of the places.
that's a
Yeah.
great place.
So it's awesome. Um, weather's been great here.
What's great? How?
Great
Uh huh.
is 82, no
Oh,
humidity,
yeah.
few clouds here and there. So it's been really nice.
Ooh, and
All right, so what's our
those that
topic?
beautiful water out there.
Oh,
Just a great
yes.
place. Great
Well,
place.
we were at Jenny Lake, and that's in the Grand Teton National Park.
Mhm.
That's where I was paddleboarding.
Mhm.
It was so clear. You could see right down to the bottom.
Oh,
It
wonderful.
was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so Donna's on. Hey, Donna.
Hello, Donna.
A few other people. So, what's our topic, Rhea?
Well, today we wanted to talk about. Yeah, we've talked about a lot of things, and a lot of work that we do, and the results of the work, and things like that. But we wanted to talk about a little bit more related to results, and I don't want to just call it strictly the law of attraction, but it's still in the same vein, recognizing that we attract uh, who we are. We attract people who are similar to who we are. We attract the people, or we attract circumstances that match what we are doing and who we are. So, and it's come up a couple of times in my life recently, and this is something that you suggested. But also, one of the books that I'm reading is Leadership by John Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
And really, the bottom line of that is, if you want to see a change, we talk about be the change. If you want to see a change, uh, then you have to make a change. You have to make a shift. And we've talked about the song "Man in the Mirror." If you want to make the world a better place, you take a look at yourself and then make a change. So it's I think it's worth going back to that subject. I know we've treated it and talked about it before, but it can never get old. It can never get old.
Yeah, and I want to specifically speak to that it's not what we know. There are people with a lot of knowledge.
Hmm.
They've studied, they have various degrees, they've got the knowledge, but we can teach what we know. We attract who we are.
Hmm.
and we multiply who we are.
Mhm.
So if we want to be the leader that most people strive to be, you want to be aware of what you're producing,
Yes.
what you're multiplying.
Mhm.
When people spend time with you, what are they walking away feeling?
Mhm.
You know, what energy are you putting into it? Because it's really not about what we know, it's about who we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and you bring that up, and of course, it reminds me of it's either for me a sermon or a Sunday school lesson that comes
Good.
up. And we had a sermon at my church recently where the question was posed to us: what is it? What are we doing? What are how are we representing ourselves? What do people see when they see us? And what is it that we want to do? It's and in the end, what he was saying is we want to be a blessing to others. Then we should focus on how to do that. And I take all of that in and apply it to my own daily leadership quest with
Mm-hmm.
my team, and the fact that I am more focused not on so much what I can get, but what I can give. And
Yes.
in doing so, I believe that I am also attracting the same kind of and help growing the same kind of team that is interested in not only what they can get, but what they can give. And we give to our customers, we give to one another, and it makes us a solid group, and we are solid performers as a result. So there are
Mm-hmm.
many applications to this,
Yes.
and it really when you take time to think it through and apply it to all areas of your life, it really makes a difference.
Yes. And one of the reasons I thought of this
Mm-hmm.
is because I'm facilitating and I'm doing a keynote for a large university
Mm-hmm.
where the subject is about growing the professors as
Mm-hmm.
people. So they have the knowledge. We know they have the knowledge,
Mm-hmm. Right.
but it's about growing them
Mm-hmm.
because they're working with a very different generation.
Yes.
And unless they grow themselves, they're not going to relate to this new generation.
That's right.
And I thought it was brilliant that that's their theme. And I really wanted to talk about that because if we don't grow ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
it does make connecting with people that aren't like us very difficult. We
Yes.
can only see one way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, up leveling our thinking allows us to see things from different ways.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And it's vitally important, especially if you are reaching the mind. If you need to connect if you need to connect with anyone, honestly, but
Mm-hmm.
connecting with younger people, then you have got to make a shift in the way that you think, in the way that you speak, in the questions that you ask. It's vitally important because we need to connect with them. And one of the things that I do is I do a children's sermon, although I'm on hiatus right now. But I do a children's sermon. I will start back again in September, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to connect with the kids. I am a pretty much a corporate person, and I thought, me speak to a bunch of children, am I going to lecture them? How's this going to work? But I realized I had to make a shift in the way that I pursued it. So yes, it's a wonderful topic. Okay, now on my screen you are frozen. So I'm looking at master screen to see if that's the same way. It looks like you're a little frozen there, but it looks like I'm
I'm sorry.
Ah,
Um,
that's okay.
but Rhea, that's a perfect example, what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
You're a corporate person, you're an attorney, right? So your expertise is in very different areas. But because you have grown yourself to the point that
Hi. Oh no, you froze again. There you are. Does this remind you of the old days when
Rhea,
can you hear me? Does this remind you of the old days when we were just getting started and all of a sudden we get kicked? Okay, looks like you're back.
Rhea, are you on?
Uh huh. I'm on. Can you hear me, Laura? Hello. Oh my. So I see Laura. I don't hear Laura at all. If you all can hear me, just
I
give
don't
us a
see
moment.
Rhea.
Yeah, I'm on.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why my internet is like this, but all right, let's get back with what we were saying because I
Yeah.
feel
Okay. All right. Yeah. One. I mean, we are one of the things that happens when we travel is we're at the mercy of the hotel, and transmission's only as good as the hotel's internet, the Wi-Fi connection. Okay. All
yes.
right. So I think you were saying you were making the point that I connect, despite my background,
Hmm.
thought it was a good example about me connecting with the kids.
Yes. Yes. And that just goes to the point that we're talking about is that when you can grow yourself, we can we can produce more of what we are, not always what we know. So I would be willing to bet that you are an incredible role model for those children.
Hmm. Hmm.
Incredible. Because you produce who you are and not really what you know.
Hmm.
So that is the perfect example of what I was talking about. So those of you that can relate to this, post on.
Uh oh. Hey.
That. Can you
Hmm.
still see me?
I can still see you.
Okay. Have you ever been taught by somebody where they knew a ton of knowledge? Or have you ever been in this situation where people have a ton of knowledge, but it's who they are that's the obstacle? Did that ever happen with you, Rhea?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there are people who have knowledge and you just but you don't want to receive from them.
Mm.
It just it doesn't work. It doesn't connect. And yeah, I've gone through that a number of times. And as I've gotten older, tried to overcome whatever the issue happened to be.
Mhm.
But then also now I recognize that a lot of times it was that person didn't have a certain level of self-awareness
Hmm.
to know that either the way they communicated or something about them was problematic. What about
Yes.
you? What about you?
Yes. Um, hmm. I mean, I've definitely seen it through work. Like people that I've worked with that have a lot of knowledge. People that I've trained with that have a lot of knowledge, but it just wasn't, the energy about it was different. It wasn't coming across. And they would sometimes feel it. Like sometimes people would say, I don't know if I'm getting my point across, or I don't know if I'm getting across what I mean to get across. You know, so knowledge, it's great to have knowledge, but having both, having the knowledge and becoming that person that you want to give away, they work well together. So Deborah says, yes, balance of yourself brings you into the center, which makes you a whole being. Donna's letting us know we froze, but I guess I froze with a smile. Allie says both of you are live. Thank you. Thank you. We can use all the help we can get tonight.
Yes, yes, yes.
But we're still live from a little hole in the wall in Wyoming right now.
And that's great. We keep on coming. That's the thing. Consistency, consistency. It's
Right.
important.
And that's what we want to model for you as well, is that no matter where we are, no matter what's going on, we carve out this time. And that's an example we want to put out there for you, is that life does get crazy. Life gets very busy. Relationships, business, work, all kinds of things. But carve out that time for you to grow yourself.
Yes.
Because you're not only helping yourself, that's the wonderful thing about this. You're not
You're not just helping yourself. That what you're doing it is ultimately it helps others, and that's why it's vitally important. I hear you on that. Well, I don't hear you on that right now, but I'm sure that's what you were going to say. Yeah, I agree. Some technical difficulties, but we're back.
yes, again. All right, so let's see. Allie says,
Some coaches have a lot of book
and are
knowledge.
ridiculously amazing.
Yes,
Yeah, a lot of book knowledge. Yeah.
yes, yes.
I think that's true in any profession. I think
Yes,
that's
it
true
is.
in anything. And that's why we want to stress this, that
Mhm.
it's really not about what we know
Yeah.
as much as it's about who we are. We give who we are, we attract who we are.
Mhm.
So, and we have talked about that before, attracting who we are,
Mhm. Oh
but we
yes, we
can,
have.
yeah, but we also give who we are.
Yeah, and you make a really you enrich your life by what you give.
Yes,
When you give, that is enriching you. Ultimately, you give to yourself, and that's the wonderful thing about it. It doesn't make sense. It's not, the equation I don't think works out mathematically, but somehow when you give something away, you're gaining something back. That is awesome. That's
it
awesome that
comes
it
back
works.
to you.
That's awesome that it works that way, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah, and it comes right back to you. And that's why growth is something that's so incredible, because you're not the only one that grows.
That's right. That is absolutely right.
Yeah,
Let's
you're giving
see.
back. Do we have other comments that I'm not seeing on here?
Let's see. I'm looking to see if we do. I don't see
Okay.
any more comments. Nope. I see more
And
people have joined us. So hello.
yeah. And so, what do you do, Rhea? you know, to
To well, what do I ask me the question again? I'm not sure. Okay.
I apologize. Um, what did you hear my question to you, Ray?
No, it was what do you do to, and then that was all I heard.
So, what do you do to become that person that you want to give away to
Oh,
others?
oh. Well, it's a very, for me it's a very intentional process. It's not, that you wake up one day and you sprinkle some pixie dust on the top of your head and you're there. It's very intentional, and I have to decide in what areas I want to grow, and do the work for that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's, one of the things that I want to make certain that I become stronger at is consistency. Another area where I want to be stronger is in the way that I ask questions and getting to the heart of issues.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, there's a list of things that I work on, and develop a strategy for working toward, not just saying, okay, I want to be more consistent, boom. It's more specific than that.
Yeah.
And consistent with what am I doing now that I want to change? How am I going to change it? So the main thing is be intentional about change, and recognize that even if I feel I'm in a good spot, that there's always room for improvement,
Yeah.
and I like that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Um, I think I'm
Okay.
okay. I know. What I was saying was I try to be very aware of my vibration, and what I am vibrating. What energy am I vibrating? Am I vibrating from love? Am I vibrating from gratitude? Which are the two I try to stay in as much as possible, because that's what I want to give back. That's what I want to give to people. Do you see Donna's comment,
I
Rhea?
do, related to knowledge and communication. A person can have a lot of knowledge, but may not always know how to communicate that knowledge. That's
Yes,
true. That's true.
yes, and Donna works with a lot of people that present, so you do see that sometimes. It's great to have the knowledge, but it's also great to be the person that you want to be giving away.
That is absolutely right.
So I'm really sorry about tonight with all of this. I don't know what's going on with the internet here, but I guess we can try to wrap up before we get cut off again. But
Okay,
go ahead, Rhea.
you could just be in a bad spot. Sometimes that happens.
I went to
But
about 6 spots before this seemed to have the best signal.
ooh, okay, all
I
right.
know.
Well, we know you're going to have a great time I think we've been able to transmit our message,
Hmm.
and we can always, if we need to revisit it next week, we can always go back and have another conversation. That would be great. So I think we can wrap up. It's always great. It's always wonderful to be able to exercise our commitment. I love that, and I love you for doing what you're doing from the wonderful Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
It is beautiful here. If you ever get a chance to come and visit, you want
Yeah.
to connect with nature and with just a glorious part of the universe, this is the place to come.
Okay.
It is beautiful. Um, but yes, I think we got our message across, and we certainly got our consistency across. That,
Yes.
which is something that we really we're so committed to doing this. We leave
Yes.
our families. We do whatever we have to do
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
to just model that we have to make the time to be better.
Yes. And it is all for in the interest of you living ridiculously amazing lives. That's the goal. That is the
That's
goal.
it. That's
Yes.
it. That's what we want for everyone, right?
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I know I hate to wrap because I always love the conversation, but I know we've got challenges here, and we are just going to ride out the challenges with a smile. So
Yes.
have a great time, Laura. I love you,
Love you. Thank you.
enjoy, get lots of rest, and take in all that nature has to offer.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone that stuck with us tonight, because
Yes.
it wasn't easy to do that. So, those of you that get to hear this whole thing, we are very thankful.
Yes. Yes. And until next week, have a
Yes.
ridiculously amazing week.
Yes.
All
Okay. Have a
right.
good week, everybody. Love you, Rhea. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Love you too.